Real English Lounge.
The art of everyday English.
Can I tell you about the best thing I ate last week?
Always.
I had this lamb dish at a small place near my apartment, and I tried to describe it to a friend in English, and what came out was, it was really good.
That's all?
That's all, which is embarrassing because it was genuinely one of the best things I've eaten this year. It had this depth of flavor, slow cooked, slightly smoky, with something sweet underneath. And what I said was, it was really good.
It was really good could describe toast.
It could describe anything. It described nothing. And today, we're gonna fix that. Welcome to Real English Lounge. I'm Claire.
And I'm Ethan. Today, how to talk about food in English. Texture, flavor, temperature, experience, the vocabulary that makes food actually sound like something. Subscribe on YouTube if this podcast is helping your English.
Comment challenge. Tell us the best thing you've eaten recently. In English, in the comments, with at least 3 descriptive words, not just delicious.
Level check. B1 to B2. Food is one of the most universal conversation topics and one of the most vocabulary limited for learners. Today, that changes.
Word tour today: texture, savory, rich, subtle, balanced, and indulgent. 6 food adjectives that actually describe something.
Let's start with the problem, because I think it goes deeper than just not knowing the words.
What do you mean?
When we talk about food in English, most learners reach for the same 5 words: delicious, tasty, nice, amazing, good, and all of those are fine, but they're all about your reaction to the food. None of them describe the food itself.
The food is invisible. We're just rating it.
Exactly. And when someone asks, what was it like? They want to know what it was like, not how much you liked it.
So the shift is, describe the food, not your feeling about the food.
And once you start doing that, you realize how much language there is to use. You can talk about texture. You can talk about flavor profile. You can talk about temperature and presentation and what it reminded you of.
It becomes a conversation instead of a review. Let's start with texture, because I think it's the most underused category.
What are the key words?
Crispy, a dry, sharp crunch. Think fried chicken skin or a well-baked crust. Crunchy, similar but with more substance. Granola, raw vegetables. Tender, soft and yielding, especially meat. Creamy, smooth and rich, coats the mouth. Silky, like creamy but lighter. Chewy, requires effort but in a satisfying way. Sticky, clings to everything, often from a glaze or sauce.
The difference between crispy and crunchy alone is worth knowing.
It really is. Crispy is about the surface. That thin, breakable layer. Crunchy goes all the way through. A good apple is crunchy. A good piece of fried chicken skin is crispy.
I've been using those interchangeably for years.
Most people do. And then there's flaky, that layered structure that separates. A good croissant is flaky. A perfectly cooked piece of fish can be flaky in a wonderful way.
Now I want a croissant.
That's the goal. The vocabulary should make the listener hungry.
Flavor vocabulary next, because this is where delicious is doing the most damage.
Yes. So the main flavor profiles: savory, the meaty, salty depth. The opposite of sweet. Umami, that deep, satisfying richness that you can't quite name. Often in mushrooms, aged cheese, soy sauce, slow-cooked meat. Sweet, sour, bitter, salty, the classics. And then the combinations: bittersweet, tangy, a bright, sharp sourness, zingy, intensely fresh, and sharp.
And for complexity,
Rich, full, deep, often heavy. A rich sauce has layers of flavor that develop. Subtle, the opposite. A flavor that's present but delicate. You have to pay attention to notice it. Balanced, when nothing dominates, everything works together. Overpowering, when one element drowns everything else.
I had a dish last month that I describe as rich but balanced. It was a slow-cooked beef, intense in flavor, but nothing was fighting for attention.
That's a genuinely good food description.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
Temperature and preparation language, because how something is cooked changes how you describe it.
What matters here?
Slow cooked, the meat falls apart. The flavors have had time to develop. Charred, a dark, slightly bitter crust from high heat, like a grilled pepper or a good steak. Caramelized, the sweetness that comes when sugar or natural sugars in vegetables meet heat. Roasted, deep and slightly nutty. Steamed, light, clean, keeps the natural flavor. Braised, cooked slowly in liquid, deeply savory.
And for the experience of eating?
Moorish, you want more immediately after the first bite. Comforting, Warm and familiar, the food equivalent of a blanket. Indulgent, you know it's too much and you're doing it anyway. Satisfying, fills you completely, not just physically. Refreshing, light and clean, usually something cold or acidic.
Moorish is a great word. It's exactly the quality that makes a bad snack food dangerous.
The best snack foods are Moorish by design.
How do you actually put it together? Because knowing the words is one thing, using them in a natural sentence is another.
Start with one specific thing, not, it was amazing. Start with, the crust was perfectly crispy, or the sauce had this deep, savory richness with something sweet underneath.
Specific before general.
Always. If I said it was one of those dishes where every element was balanced perfectly, and somehow it still felt indulgent, that tells you something real.
I can picture a dish from that description.
Versus it was really good, which tells me nothing except that you approved.
The approval without the evidence.
And food deserves better than that. The whole point of talking about food is to make the other person feel something about it, to make them want to eat it, or to understand why you loved it.
Which requires actual description, not just a score word tour. 6 food adjectives that actually describe something.
Definition, natural example, mini dialogue, upgrade phrase.
Word 1, texture. Texture. Noun.
Texture is the physical quality of food in your mouth, whether it's crispy, smooth, chewy, silky, dense, or light. It's one of the main things that makes food satisfying, and one of the things most people forget to describe.
Example, the texture was what made it. The outside was perfectly crispy, giving way to something incredibly tender inside. That contrast was the whole experience.
Mini dialogue. What was it like?
The texture was the best part. It had this delicate flakiness, the kind where it falls apart in exactly the right way without being dry.
That's the word I was looking for. Flaky.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of it was soft, try the texture was silky with just enough resistance. It coated the mouth without being heavy. Texture vocabulary makes a dish feel real.
Word 2. Savoury. Savoury. Adjective.
Savoury describes food that is flavorful and satisfying without being sweet. The meaty, salty, deeply flavorful end of the spectrum. The direct opposite of sweet. Most of the foods we think of as comfort food are savoury.
Example. She'd wanted something savoury after a week of eating on the go. Something slow-cooked and deeply flavored that would feel like an actual meal.
Mini dialogue. Are you in the mood for something sweet or savoury?
Savoury, definitely. Something rich and warm. I want flavor, not sugar.
Then I know exactly where to go.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of something not sweet, try, I was craving something savory. That deep, flavorful warmth you only get from slow cooking or a good seasoning. Nothing sweet, nothing light. Just properly savory. Word 3. Rich. R-I-C-H. Adjective.
In food, rich means full-bodied, deep, and satisfying, often with a heaviness from fat, cream, or intense flavor. A rich dish is one where you feel every element. It's the opposite of light. Done well, rich is wonderful. Done badly, it becomes too much.
Example. The soup was rich in the best way. Thick and deeply flavored. The kind where you slow down after a few spoons, not because it was bad, but because it was almost too satisfying.
Mini dialogue. Would you recommend it?
Absolutely. But it's rich. Go when you're actually hungry. It's not the kind of thing you eat as a light lunch.
Good to know.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of, it was heavy, try, it was beautifully rich, layered, deeply flavored, the kind of thing that earns the full attention of the meal. Not every day, but worth every bite when you're in the mood.
Word 4. Subtle. S-U-B-T-L-E. Adjective.
Subtle describes a flavor that's present but gentle. You notice it, but it doesn't announce itself. Subtle is the quality of a dish that rewards attention. It's not loud. It doesn't hit you immediately. You find it.
Example. The spice was subtle, present enough to make itself known, but never dominating. If you weren't paying attention, you might not identify it, but it was definitely there, running underneath everything else.
Mini dialogue. Is it spicy?
Subtly. There's a warmth that builds slowly. Nothing sharp. You notice it a few bites in.
That's the kind of heat I like.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of it's not that strong, try the flavor is subtle. It doesn't hit you immediately, but it builds, and by the end, it's made its presence felt. The best kind of understatement in a dish.
Word 5. Balanced. B-A-L-A-N-C-E-D. Adjective.
A balanced dish is one where no single flavor dominates. Everything works in proportion. Sweet, sour, salty, rich, all present, but none overwhelming. Balance is the mark of good cooking.
Example. What surprised surprised him was how balanced it was. Rich enough to be satisfying, acidic enough to stay light, with a sweetness that came and went, rather than announcing itself throughout.
Mini dialogue. Is it too heavy?
No, it's surprisingly balanced. The richness is there, but the acidity cuts through it. You finish the bowl and feel satisfied, not weighed down.
That's rare.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of "it wasn't too much," try "it was perfectly balanced." Every element doing its job without overstepping. That kind of restraint is harder to achieve than it looks.
Last word. Indulgent. Indulgent. Adjective.
Indulgent describes food that is rich, satisfying, and slightly excessive. The kind you eat on purpose, knowing it's too much, because the experience is worth it. Indulgent is never neutral. It always implies a slight transgression and full satisfaction.
Example. It was indulgent in exactly the right way. The kind of meal where you know halfway through that you'll be thinking about it for days, and you eat every last bite anyway.
Mini dialogue. Was it worth it?
Completely. It was indulgent. Proper cheese, proper butter, proper time taken. Not something you eat twice a week, but every now and then, exactly that.
That's the best kind of yes.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of "it was a treat," try "it was genuinely indulgent." The kind of thing you eat slowly and without guilt, because that's exactly what the occasion called for. Sometimes indulgent is the right choice.
Adds the word to her. Texture, savory, rich, subtle, balanced, indulgent.
6 words that make food sound like food instead of a rating. Let's close. Delicious is fine, but it's a score, and a score doesn't make the other person hungry.
Describe the texture. Describe the flavor. Rich, savory, subtle, balanced. Describe the moment. Moorish, indulgent, comforting.
Give the food its actual shape in words.
Comment challenge. Tell us the best thing you've eaten recently, in English, with at least 3 descriptive words. Not delicious.
Subscribe, give it a like, and share it with someone whose entire food vocabulary is amazing.
I'm Claire.
I'm Ethan. The lamb dish was slow cooked, subtly smoky, and deeply balanced. Not really good.
Haha. See you next time.
Your English journey doesn't end here.
Keep listening, keep learning, and keep speaking.
Choose your next conversation.
We'll see you in the next episode of Real English Lounge.